All right, next one here, and I just saw this. This is really annoying. I'm gonna have to send this one back to get recased, and it's the most expensive book in this video. What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and up next we have got the third part of this big CGC unboxing. I just got in the next box that has the remaining 8 books from this submission, plus the 4 that I haven't done yet from the big 25 book box I got back. I haven't checked the grades on these, so let's get into these and see how I did. We'll also go over values at the end of this video. All right, so before we get started, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. So we've got the third part of this big CGC unboxing. I sent in quite a few comics and magazines, and so I've gotten all the comics back now. The magazines are still there. I should be hopefully getting at least some of those back pretty soon, but got all the comics back now. The comics consisted of 1 unlimited value, that was the Phantom Lady 17 I opened in a prior video, 2 high value, which was a Scooby-Doo #1 and a Crime Suspense Story 17, and then 33 vintage tier books. And so these are those 33 vintage tier books. We've done 2 videos so far for the first part of those, 11 each. Now we're going to do 12, the 12 remaining in this one. Like I said, we're going to go over values of these at the end. Now, like I mentioned in the intro, I don't check the grades beforehand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a book out, I'm going to bring it down from the top, talk a little bit about the book, then I'll reveal the grade. We'll see how I did compared to my grade estimate that I gave probably months ago in the video that I did where I was talking about this submission. So let's get started. I want to work through these 4 books that are remaining in this other box first, and then we'll move on to the 8 that came in. So they should all be at the end over here. So let's pull out the first one, see which one it is. Oh, okay. I was upset I didn't get to see this one in the first couple videos. So this is Marvel Mystery Comics number 16. Now, this was a pretty cool pickup. This one I actually picked up from Mercari. I had somebody reach out to me on Instagram, and they're like, hey, there's this Marvel Mystery Comics on Mercari. I know you like old Golden Age books. Thought you might be interested. So I went over there. I think it was listed for like, I don't know, $400 or something like that. And I claimed it immediately. I mean, Marvel Mystery Comics 16, I mean, this is, I think it's like 1941, something like that. I mean, super early. Great World War II cover. We've got Human Torch, messing up this Nazi oil and airplane facility. And so the only concern I had with this one is that I thought it might be trimmed. Now, I know it's not, because I did check I didn't check grades, but I checked whether they were universal or restored. And this one got universal grade, so it's not trimmed, which just means it has a really wild cut on the top edge, which for the Golden Age, I have seen that plenty of times. I've seen a number of times where you get some really weird cuts in the Golden Age, just what happens with that type of machinery and everything. But this one I had as a 1.0. It looks really nice. It had a big spine roll. It has a lot of, I'll try to show the back without showing the grade. It has, these lines on the side. It looks pretty good now. I mean, there's basically, it's all kind of like black mold. It had like water damage, had a big spine roll where it never would have fit inside this case. But I, had my presser fix that. Turned out, I mean, it looks great. But let's see how we did. All right, 1.8. That's nice. I mean, like I said, I had it as a 1.0. Getting a 1.8, and I'm very happy with that. And I mean, yeah, let's take a close look at this one. I mean, so you can see that there's, kind of like that, where it was probably a few other books stacked on top of one another. So you have this line where this kind of like mold was. But I mean, he cleaned up, you can tell he like cleaned up the Marvel real well. Looks nice and bright. I mean, the colors are really fantastic on this copy. And on the back here, you can see that same kind of like molding or whatever on the cover. But the page quality is decent. I remember saying that when I got this, I talked about it. I was like, oh, even with that, the page quality is decent. It was off-white pages and 1.8. And here you can see that really strange cut on the top edge. And that stuff happens. I had the Batman 3 that I had a really weird cut on the right edge. And so you can see that kind of stuff. And that's when I see that, I want to send it in to CGC to make sure that I'm not selling somebody a trimmed book that I don't know if it's trimmed or not. So I like getting that confirmation. So that's the first one. That is very happy with that. All right. Let's see, what's the next book going to be? Oh, this is Journey into Mystery, what is it, 62. So this is like the first, or I don't know if it's the first one, but this is a prototype Hulk issue. So you can see it says, "Here comes the Hulk." It's definitely not the Hulk that we're used to. I picked that one up at the local con that I go to. So it's a really, really nice presenting copy, but it has some tears that are repaired with tape. So there's a decent amount of like little pieces of tape on the interior of this book. It's not on the outside, at least I don't think it was on the outside. It was mostly on the interior, protecting some tears. But I had this one as a 4 to a 4.5. Got the 4.5. Off-white to white pages. And then you can see first appearance of character called the Hulk. And so, yeah, it's not, obviously it's not the Hulk from, Incredible Hulk #1, but still, you've got Hulk even written on the, the cover there, which is pretty cool. But you can see, I mean, it's a really solid presenting copy of this book. There were a number of little pieces of tape on the interior of the front cover, and then on the back, you can see there was this tape here that was protecting a tear. But, I mean, overall, really solid looking book. And this one is pretty pricey. I mean, this is 1960. This is pretty early Marvel. This is, I think it's Marvel at this point. I don't think it's Atlas at this point. Oh, no, it is Atlas. So it's Atlas Comics. But yeah, that's cool. And, happy to get that. So had it as a 4 to a 4.5, got the 4.5. Let's see. There was another Journey into Mystery in here. Let's see if this is it, because I didn't have it in the other videos. Yep, this is the other one. So this is Journey into Mystery number 38. Now, this one I just sent in because this was an example of one where I talked about this in that prior video. There are a few copies of it generally out on like eBay, that kind of thing, that are raw. And I thought getting it graded would help differentiate it. It had a number of pressable defects that I thought could, be improved a little bit. So, I mean, it's just there's some minor key thing about it, but I honestly don't remember what it is. But this one I had as a 4.5. Nice, 5.5. And white pages. That cleaned up really well. So, I mean, I talk about pressing and cleaning, these all went to the comic book presser. That is the name of the presser that I use. And, I mean, yeah, this cleaned up really, really nice. I remember there was a lot of, like, indentations and that kind of thing, like, to this cover. I mean, it's like, you can see, like, this flattened out, pressed out, really, really nice. And, spine looks good. Back cover looks really clean. Like that, I don't remember if there's a lot of dirt on it or not, but it's just like, it looks really, really clean. And a white page copy, I mean, from 1956. Like, this is right on the start of the Silver Age. So, I mean, it's almost Golden Age, like 1956, almost Golden Age. But yeah, 5.5 white pages. That's awesome. So yeah, very happy with that. All right, I don't remember what the last one that would be in here is. Let's see. What is this one? Oh, okay. This is Joe Palooka #2. I picked up this one from A1 Comics on one of their Instagram live claim sales. And it was just a nice copy. Let's see. I had it as a 6.0 to a 6.5. Felt like, for a book that I think this is like 1942 or 1944, something like that. And so it's pretty early. And so I just felt like, with as nice as this book looked, it was worthwhile to get graded. So like I said, I had a 6 to a 6.5. Got the 6.5. Oh, it's 1946. All right, I was off by a little bit. 1946. And this one, the other kind of like plus with this is that it's got kind of like that good girl art element to it, with the woman in the, the 1940s swimsuit that's the lifeguard, we're saving the guy that obviously faked it to be rescued by her. But yeah, I mean, like 6.5 off-white to white pages from 1946. And yeah, it was a really solid looking book. I just remember when I got this one, I was impressed with how clean this book was and thought it was worthwhile send in to get graded. Yeah, I mean, like, back cover looks nice. I think there's like a little, yeah, it's like a little pen or something like that down in the back. But front cover looks great. Just kind of like some wear, a little wear along the spine and at the staple, and then a little wear down in that corner. But overall, solid book. So, all right, happy with those. Those are the first 4. Now, so that closes out that other box that I had, the 25 book box. Now this one should have 8 more books in it. So, gonna cut this one open, and then we will check these out. I think there are a couple more. I talked about in my prior videos. There's a couple more Fantast books in here that I picked up from that the live claim sale, you know, from the Fantast collection. I talked about that one. All right, let's see here. Just gonna feel around in here, and we'll pull out a book and see what it is. All right, so first book. Okay, all right, fun one to start with. This is Special Marvel Edition number 15. This book has just taken a beating. I mean, just a beating. And I mean, there's a few reasons for it, but I mean, the movie was pretty good. Like, I generally enjoyed this movie other than the final act. I didn't really care for the final act because I didn't have any connection to the villain that they were using. Like, you didn't know about this villain until the very end, and so there's just nothing to really, you know, drive me to care about what was going on. But special effects were really good for this one. The martial arts was incredible. The fighting scenes were incredible, all of that. Now, this book, like I said, it was primed to spike during the comic boom. It had its trailer come out in like April of 2021, like peak, like right when the comic boom started to peak. So you had that trailer coming out, really spiked prices. This book had already exploded from just this character being introduced into the MCU. You had the movie, which came out when we were, you know, still kind of in the COVID period when people were nervous about going into movies. And Marvel has really just kind of like done nothing with this character since then. I mean, they've pretty much not touched this character for 2 years, which, I mean, I feel like that's really hurt the values of this book. Now, it is, I mean, it's a black cover. You would think it'd be relatively difficult and high grade, but there are a good number of high grade copies that are out there. This was a really nice copy. Picked it up from that Fantast collection. I had it as a 9.2. It was a beautiful copy of this book. I just had like a little damage in the upper right corner and like one spine tick. Let's see how we did. 9.4. Nice. And white pages. So here's that damage. You can see it had this like tiny crease and like a little blunting, and then it was like one spine tick, and that's it. I mean, beautiful copy. I mean, this is otherwise basically a perfect copy of this book. And white pages. I mean, yeah, that is an incredible copy. I'm very happy with getting a 9.4. I mean, granted, this is a book that's dropped a lot. Like, if this had been like 2 years ago, this is probably like a $2,000 book. I don't know what it's going for right now. I'll have to go check, but I know it's a lot less than that. But yeah, that's the first one. So happy with that. All right. Let's see what's coming out next. What is this? Oh, this is Rangers Comics 38. Yeah, so this is a SOTY book, Seduction of the Innocent. Basically, one of these books that played a role in the Comics Code Authority being established. I picked this one up from an Instagram claim sale, not the Fantast one, just a different Instagram claim sale. This was a nice copy too. The main thing was like some like smudging, kind of like up in this corner over here, and then just like some general wear. I mean, it's an older book. I had this one at a 5 to a 5.5. Got a 6.0. Nice. Off-white to white pages, so great page quality. Yeah, so here's that, kind of like that smudging in the upper corner there. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, yeah, 6.0. Really nice copy of this book. I actually bought another really high-grade copy of this on a recent sale as well. I think it's like a 7.5. At least other than that copy, this would have been the nicest copy that I've ever had. I've had a few different copies of this book before This one was the nicest one. I haven't gotten the other one yet, but it's a graded 7.5, so it's, you know, higher grade, but still really, really nice copy of this book. I mean, this is 1947, and yeah, 6.0 off-white to white pages, and this, you know, kind of like classic, you know, whatever you want to call it, classic, but hanging cover. And so just a really well-known cover from this run. All right. So the next one here. Oh, this is Patsy Walker. It's like 22. Let me see here. Yeah, Patsy Walker 22. So this is a really nice copy. The reason that I sent it in is I thought it had a shot at top of census. So this is a book that, like, if you go to, it's from Timely, but it has this cool Marvel Comics stamp. Like, they started doing this somewhere around like 1949. They put this Marvel Comics stamp on there. It's basically like kind of like a romance type books. So you've got Hetty and Patsy Walker and that kind of thing. Kind of similar to the Archie comics of the time period. And the highest grade copy on census is an 8.0. I had this one at a 7 to a 7.5. It was close enough that I was like, I would set it in and maybe it has a shot. So let's see how we did. Oh, awesome. That means it ties the highest graded copy. At least the last time I checked. I have to, you know, I'll have to check again to make sure. But yeah, it means it ties the highest graded copy. That is incredible. These types of books are pretty tough in high grades like this. You don't come across them very often. You will see copies of these books out there, but they're generally very low grade. So an 8.0 is an incredible copy. Also off-white to white pages. Yeah, that is incredible. So yeah, really happy with that. That's awesome. Yeah, that's the second top of census book. My other one, I had that Comedy Comics number 8. I've already sent that one back to CGC because the problem with the hologram on the slab, but that's the single highest graded copy. This one is tied with, I think, one other book. I'll have to check once I'm done with this. All right, let's check out the next one here. Okay, this is another one of the Fantastic books. This is Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. 13, I believe. So there were some really nice books that they were selling, and not like keys, but they were just really high grade books. And so I decided to pick this one up. This one I had as a 9.4 to a 9.6. Honestly, like raw, this is probably the nicest book I've ever had in my hands from I think this is like late Silver Age. I don't think it's into bronze yet. I think late Silver Age. I've just never had a book that looked this nice before in my hands raw, that wasn't already graded. So like I said, I had a 9.4 to a 9.6. All right, 9.4. I mean, I was hoping for the 9.6 on this one. I mean, and I wouldn't have been shocked at like a 9.8. But I had a 9.4 to 9.6. You know, can't complain. But I mean, yeah, there's just like a little bit of like roughness in those corners. But I mean, it's pretty much perfect. Yeah, I mean, just like look. I mean, yeah, this is 1969, so just the end of the Silver Age. And like, look at those edges, corners, everything. This book is incredible, like an incredible copy. So, still happy to get it. You know, like, I mean, a 9.4 Silver Age book is incredible to, you know, have gotten graded. But yeah, I mean, this thing is stunning. But yeah, all right, so 9.4. All right. There's another Nick Fury book. I don't know if this is going to be it or not. Let's see. Yep, this is the other one. So this is Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 3. This is also a very nice copy. I had this one as a 9.2 to a 9.4. Not quite as nice as that other one. This is a Steranko cover. The other one is not a Steranko cover, but I'm almost certain this is a Jim Steranko cover. But yeah, 9.2 to a 9.4. Cool Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. book. I think this is like 1968. See how we did. All right, 9.2 and white pages. And yeah, Jim Steranko story and cover. So I think it's a cool cover. The big covers, the ones that are the most popular, are like 1 and 4. I think 1 and 4 are like the ones that people really, really like, the early Steranko ones. But still, I think this is a really cool looking cover. But again, very high grade copy of this book. I mean, just like look at this, like corners, edges, everything. I think it was, this one had maybe a little bit of spine wear, something like that. I mean, it's really nice. There's a little roughness on that top edge, you can see, but yeah, I mean, just a incredible copy of this book. So yeah, very happy again. You know, just like a 9.2 Silver Age book. I mean, I just think that's so cool. Don't get an opportunity, like I haven't had an opportunity to submit like really high grade books like that very often, so pretty cool to get those. All right, how many are left? We got 3 left in here. All right, what's this one? Oh, okay. Hey, this might be like the coolest book in here. One of the coolest books that I sent in. This is Weird Terror number 7. And this is a Don Heck cover and just a wild pre-code horror type cover. I mean, you've got this like just this crazy guy there with, you know, I mean, just like the coloring around his eyes, and he has clearly put someone into this furnace and he's, you know, shoveling coal into it. It's the, you know, the black cover. Just I love the black background pre-code horror covers. I think they really pop. And this one, I mean, it's a really solid presenting copy. I had it as a 5.5 to a 6.0. See how we did? All right, got the 5.5. I'm happy with that. I mean, yeah, you can see like the only like real noticeable thing is this little crease here, and then you've got some spine wear, but otherwise a really nice copy. A little bit of creasing down here. The main thing I hit it for was that spine wear. It's kind of like a reader's crease, you know, along the spine. But I mean, it pressed out really nice. I mean, look how glossy and everything that is. It's the back cover. Off-white to white pages too, so nice page quality. Yeah, I mean, a really nice copy of this book. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm like, would it be worth it to try to submit it again and get a 6? Like, is it on the edge? Like, I feel like it's kind of on the edge there, but I don't know, probably not. I don't want to risk it again, but yeah. Weird Terror, number 7, 5.5. That's a big book. I'll have to check what the pricing is on it, but that's going to be one of the more expensive books that was in this submission. All right, so we got 2 left here. What's this one? Oh, okay. This is Torchy number 4. So the Torchy run is like, it's like 6 or 8 issues, something like that. It might be 6. And this is my favorite cover from the run. You know, I think this is it's like the most fun cover. You've got Torchy on the cover in the, you know, in like the revealing bathing suit for the time period. It's like 1950 or something like that. And this was a cool book too. It had a cool like manufacturing flaw, is that it only had a single staple, because this was actually a double staple book. Some books, you know, from the Golden Age are single staple books. This is supposed to be a double staple book. It was done with a single. And so when I sent it in, I actually put a note on the bag that I was like, single staple book on the bottom, so when you're opening it, be careful, because I didn't want someone to expect 2 staples and then inadvertently tear the cover. But yeah, it has the state stamp here, which is pretty cool, and just an overall very solid copy. I bought this one off of an eBay auction. So I had this at a 5 to a 5.5. See how we did. Oh man. 1 grade up is a big deal in this book. That 6.5 is a big deal in this book. Like, I mean, half grades are a big deal, because I don't know if it's the most expensive book from the run, but I think it might be. And I mean, every half grade is a big deal. And so I had it as a 5 to a 5.5, and you get a 6.5. I'm very happy with that. That is nice. But yeah, really nice book. The main flaw, if I remember correctly, was there's like a tear, and there's like a tear up here. Yeah, so maybe like a 1/2 inch tear there. Then you've got, I mean, like a little bit of spine wear. I think there was like a little bit of like spotting from staining. And here's that one staple that's down on the bottom. So you can see that staple down in the bottom there. So it's that single staple. So I wanted to make sure they were careful, because I didn't want this to get detached. And then there's, you know, kind of like a tiny crease. So I'm going to come out on the camera. There's like a tiny crease right there. But yeah, overall, 6.5. I'm interested to know around what that goes for, because that's going to be a pretty big book, I'm pretty sure. So 6.5, Torchy number 4. Said my favorite cover from the run. I think it's the best cover from the Torchy run. But yeah, let's see. It means there's one left, and then we're going to go over, I'll cut the video, go check out values, and come back. All right, last one here. All right, this is Tales of Horror number 2, and I had this one at a 4.5. I'm trying to remember where I picked this one up. I think I bought it on I think it was an Instagram claim sale. I do seem to buy a lot on Instagram claim sales, but this is Tales of Horror number 2, and kind of like again, good girl art, woman in the swimsuit on there with this like weird tentacle monster on the cover, and I mean, it looks pretty nice. What did I have this at? I had it as a 4.5, but man, that looks like it cleaned up really well. We'll see how we did. Yeah, 5.5. Not surprised. Like, that looks really nice. Let's see what the back. Yeah, I mean, overall, like, there's some spine wear, but in general, like, really nice copy of this book. Like, bright colors too. You can see it's, everything's been pressed out real well. There's the back. Back looks nice. Man, yeah, awesome. Tales of Horror number 2 and a 5.5. Off-white to white pages. Check, I forgot to check those other ones to see if there were any cracks or anything like that. But looks okay. Yeah, very happy with that. Again, awesome. Real excited about that one. So, that's all 12 books. So I am going to, cut here. I'm going to go look up values. Then we're going to come back and we will talk about these books.
2,000 years later.
All right, so we are back. Looked up all the values. Let's go over these books. So first one here, we've got the Journey into Mystery number 38 and a 5.5 with white pages. I feel like white pages is going to add a little bit of something to this book. So I have this one as $300, but I have it bolded on my sheet, meaning I think it could maybe go for a little bit more. And the reason for that largely being that it's a white page copy, because that's just not something that is very common in this era. I mean, like I had said earlier, this is almost Golden Age. I mean, it's 1956. It's right on the cusp of Silver Age and Golden Age. That's the first one. Next one is Journey into Mystery number 62, 4.5. This one is a pretty pricey book. I mean, so for this prototype Hulk, I have this one at $550. So pretty pricey book, a nice presenting copy. Really, the tape is one of the big things holding this one back, and the little tears that the tape is repairing. All right, next one here, we've got Marvel Mystery Comics number 16 in a 1.8. So this one I have at $1,100. Also one that I think could potentially go a little bit higher. I think it was like a 3.5 or a 3 went for, it was like 2,300 or 2,500 or something like that. So yeah, I mean, it's a pricey book, and when you've got books like this, they're going to have a very high barrier of entry. It's like sometimes you're going to have more per point at the low end, and then it gets a little cheaper, and then as it gets to higher grades, it gets more expensive again. And it's just because it's such a rare book, such an in-demand book, being one of the early Nazi World War II covers. I mean, this is 1941, and this is February of 1941, well before the U.S. joined the war. And so that type of thing is also significant because it shows, characters attacking the Nazis prior to the U.S. joining the war. It's definitely one of the things people talk about with like Captain America 1, because he's on the cover punching Hitler in the face, and we're not in the war yet. And I think Captain America 1 is like 1 or 2 months after that issue. So that's pre-Captain America 1. All right, next one. Special Marvel Edition number 15. Like I said, it would have been great if I would have had this one, maybe like 2 years ago. But this one in a 9.4, I have it at $825. I think it would have been around like 2,000 or something a couple years ago, but it's retreated a lot, but it's still a 9.4 white page copy. First appearance of Shang-Chi, and yeah, just a beautiful copy of this book. All right. This one's, I mean, these types of books are a little tougher to price because you don't have as much sales data. So this is Joe Palooka #2 in a 6.5. I have it at $375. I mean, it's 1946, off-white to white pages, kind of like Good Girl art type cover, and a pretty high grade copy. So yeah, what did I say? I have this one at 375. All right, now another one that can be tricky. So this is this Patsy Walker #22. Yes, I did confirm it is now tied at the top of the census. There are 2 8.0s that are out there for this book. I have it at $600, but I don't know, maybe it goes for more. I mean, top of census, you never really know exactly what type of premium that can get. But I have it at $600, but again, one of those that I think could potentially go for more just because of what it is, being it's not necessarily mean it's the best copy out there. There could be ungraded copies that are higher grades, but of the graded copies that exist, this is the best one that's out there, or tied for the best one that's out there. All right, next one is Rangers Comics #38, Sodi book, hanging cover, pretty nice condition copy, a 6.0. So I had this one at $575 for a 6.0 of Rangers Comics #38. All right. Now for, these next two are these high-grade Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. So this is issue 3, 9.2, white pages. Not a super pricey book. Got it at $200, which, I mean, yeah, high-grade, Silver Age, Steranko cover, $200. I mean, seems pretty affordable to me. I know I've heard, I think it's Comic Tom recently talking about this run and how affordable it is, especially in the high-grade books, because there's been some interest in them recently. So if you're Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. #3 in a 9.2, $200. And then issue 13, and this is not a Steranko cover. This is a Trimpe cover, and so this one for a 9.4, I have $185. So very similar. You know, it's a around the same price, higher grade, but it's a little bit later, and it's not a Steranko cover. So 9.4 for $185. All right, next one here, and I just saw this. This is really annoying. I'm gonna have to send this one back to get recased, and it's the most expensive book in this video. Okay, this is Weird Terror #7, 5.5, and let's see if you can see the, I don't know if they'll come out on camera or not. There's like, maybe like this. There's a bunch of scratches here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, and it's one of those things, like, if I had bought it from someone else, I wouldn't care, wouldn't make a big deal about it. But when it's one that then I have to sell, it means I've got to let people know about it. There's some people that are really picky about scratches. If they're on the back, it's not as big of a deal, but these are on the front, like right all along here. Like I said, they probably won't come out on this in this lighting, but it's really frustrating. It's just really frustrating. They got to send in another one, you know, but all right. Let's see. So Weird Terror #7, 5.5. I have this one at $2,200. So very pricey book. That's so frustrating. Man, that really bugs me that I got to do this again. That's the 4th book from this submission that I've had to send in out of the, this 33. No. They should be checking that kind of stuff. They should be checking that kind of stuff. That's just, it's really frustrating. But, all right. So, yeah, but $2,200 is still, you know, a big deal for that book. I mean, I paid a lot for it too. It's not like I got that book for cheap. I paid a lot for that book, so I'm glad it got the grade that it got. All right, next one here, this Torchy #4 in a 6.5. So this one, this is the second most expensive book out of these. This is also a pretty pricey one. This is $1,750. Like I said, like when I saw that 6.5, like a full grade above what I was estimating, I mean, that is a big deal for this book. And so 6.5, $1,750 for what I think is the best cover from the Torchy run. All right, So then down to the final book here. This is the Tales of Horror #2. And let's see, I'll check this one for scratches too. No, I don't see any. Okay, so Tales of Horror #2 in a 5.5. I have this one at $600. Just a really bright copy, solid presenting copy, great colors and everything. So yeah, real happy with that one. So overall, very happy with these books. Not happy with having to send another book back to have it recased again because of the scratches on the case. But you know, I'd rather do that now when they cover it, even though it's going to basically cost me about a month of time, than having to deal with somebody being upset with it when I ultimately sell the book. So, oh well. But yeah, one thing I'm going to do after this, I'm going to make another video where I go over kind of like my grading and maybe a little bit on the pricing, like which books were the best returns, worst returns, that kind of thing. Because one of the things I wanted to look at was from this comic submission that I did, which was 36 books, I just wanted to see how my grade estimates on average compared to what I actually got. So do a separate video talking about that as well. So if you want to see that, if you'd like to see more videos like this, remember I've got all those magazines that should be coming in hopefully sometime in the next few weeks as well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. I've got more videos over here. If you'd like to watch some of my other videos, subscription button is right here. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video.